What's up, guys, and welcome to this. This is your AEW Dynamite review show. I'm your host, LK, from the SOS WrestleTalk YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment down below on your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Win, loss, tie, as we always do. Let me know in the comments, do you give this show a win? Do you give this show a loss? Do you give this show a tie? Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to think. And I'm going to go with a very strong tie. I haven't had the chance to kind of go online and see what other people are saying about this show, but from my perspective, I'm going with a strong tie, because what I believe in is, I did an NXT review yesterday, which again I gave a very strong tie. I don't kind of have a particular company that is my company. I enjoy all aspects of wrestling. I enjoy the WWE style, I enjoy AEW, and I also enjoy the Japanese style. So I kind of don't have a preference to what one I prefer. Obviously, there's times when you're like, oh, I'm in the mood to watch a classic certain match. But for the majority of the time, I just kind of watch and enjoy as a wrestling fan. I can appreciate all different styles and genres, like a lot of you can. I just don't like this whole narrative of you either like WWE and hate AEW, or you like AEW and you hate WWE. If it's wrestling and it's good, you should then express that and say you think it's good, and if it's wrestling and you think it's bad, you should say you think it's bad. If you don't enjoy AEW, don't watch it. It's as simple as that. It is a clear-cut cookie like that. So I'm going to give this show a strong tie, because there was some stuff on here that I thought stunk. There really, really was. But for the majority, to be fair, this was alright. We're obviously leading into the Forbidden Door show. I think that's 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks. There's no Will Ospreay on this show, which is disappointing, but then they do have 17 hours of TV a week, so he could appear at the weekend. Right, so Dynamite, June 6th, 2024, from Colorado. So we start off the show with MJF coming out. The sole reason why you should watch AEW, if you kind of have been on a negative feel towards the promotion, just watch the MJF stuff. That's definitely what I would advise you to do, because this guy is fucking incredible. And this show without MJF, we'd be talking weak tie, because his promo was so fucking good. Or what a way to start the show off, when I turned it on this morning, because obviously I'm from the UK, so watching it live is just not going to happen. Apologies again about my voice. My hay fever's still not gone down. Hope I don't have to get to the doctors. It's been a while now. The tablets they're not. They do something for a little bit and then it dies down. And I don't want to have to get to the point where I have to start taking 5 or 6 tablets a day. That's not what I'm all about. I don't want to get addicted and hooked on hay fever tablets. So I'm trying my best to get through this show. But I wanted to come on here and talk about it, because I did watch it this morning. So I want to give my thoughts on it. So MJF came out, mega pop, guys mega over, made sense to put him to kick off the show, crowd loved it. He come out, cut a promo, he says that Okada's the Rainmaker, yet he can't afford a gym membership. Now when he said that, okay, now I know Forbidden Door is, AEW versus New Japan, and technically Okada is an AEW talent, but because he's, such a mainstay in New Japan for like a decade, I would have been fine with that. I would have preferred that. But if we're saving that for the future, then that's fine. There is still all the time in the world. MJF signed a long deal. Okada signed a deal. That is a match. With him just saying Okada's name, that's reminded me that is a match I really want to see. I think that would be absolutely incredible. We haven't actually seen Okada have, or at least I haven't from the stuff that I've been watching, have a belter of a one-on-one match yet. There's still loads of time, obviously, and he's doing stuff with the Young Bucks, very character-driven at the moment, which is fine. But I'm looking forward to seeing Okada get his teeth sunk into, and the fact he's kind of not in the main event scene, it is what it is, I guess, but he's involved with the Young Bucks, so he's still doing well for himself. MJF also said he got insulted by Swerve, claiming to be a businessman, even though he never went to business school. And then he insulted Ospreay's accent, insulted the word bruv. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you, that insult made me giggle. Careful. I cannot stand the word bruv. Oh, you right, bruv? Fuck off. What do you call me bruv for? If someone called me bruv, my immediate reaction is, you are a chav. You are a thug, as they call them in. So all these kind of Americans getting a bruv chant. Bruv is kind of hear what a thug would say. Oh, you right, bruv? Like, it's not something normal. You know, mate is the normal. But yeah, more people say the word bro than bruv. At least anyone that's in my friendship circle, my family, I've never heard anyone say the word bruv. And that makes me proud. I don't associate myself with people who do that. Anyway, and MJF said that Ospreay's, not the best in the world. He is. Rush then interrupts, says the problem with Americans is they never shut up, and said where was his big moment when he returned. Obviously he returned on just a random episode on Collision, just after Swerve won the AEW World Championship, which has a fair point. MJF then says his bank account is dry after buying all those suits you've got, just like the women he slept with. He's just so good, so quick. And then Rush runs down, they have a big brawl, security separate them. Match at Forbidden Door. I'm going to be honest, and I might be in the minority here. And again, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm coming on here and giving my opinion. If you don't like it and think I'm wrong, tell me in the comments why I'm wrong, and we'll go from there. I couldn't care less about Rush versus MJF. I can't see it. And what I mean by that is I can't see that being a really good match. I don't know why. And when I picture Rush, obviously he did stuff with Ring of Honor. I'll get onto Ring of Honor later on. So I didn't actually spit, I mimicked the spit. But every time the words ROH come up, a little reflex in the back of my throat tends to spit. I just can't picture that being a good match, man. I'm being honest with you. I really am struggling in my mind as to whether that would be a good match or not. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these guys will go out there, they'll have a belter of a match, and I'll come on here and say, look, they had a really good match. And it is what it is. What could I do about it? But from my perspective, thinking about it, I can't envision a good match. I mean, it'll be a good match, it's two great wrestlers, but I can't imagine it being spectacular. I'd rather MJF go against... Yeah, but we've already seen Tanahashi. I'd like to see MJF versus Naito. I think that would be very interesting. Why not? Why the fuck not? And then we went on to the first match of the night. We had the number one contenders match for the AEW International Championship next week. We had Orange Cassidy, who's gone back to his old theme song. I liked Jane, right? I really like that entrance song. I had it on my Spotify. It was really sad when he came out to his original song. Kyle O'Reilly, he's had a trim. He looks much better when he came back with that scruff ball of a haircut. Glad he's had a trim. Jay Lethal, God, such a fan of Lethal for so long. I hope he gets a push at some point. Really, really do. And Rey Fenix. So, out of those four, there is no loser here. What I mean by that is, whoever wins this is going to have a cracker with Will Ospreay next week. So as fans, I could sit back, relax and enjoy. I was rooting for Lethal, but I could sit back, relax and enjoy no matter what outcome is. It's fine. Apologies. No matter what the outcome is, it's not a problem, because the match will be good regardless next week. As you can imagine on this one, non-stop from the opening bell, there were some really good spots in here. Orange went for the Slumdog Millionaire, and O'Reilly counted it in mid-air into an armbar. That was a This Is Awesome chant. O'Reilly did an armbar on Lethal, and then Cassidy tried breaking up with the pussy kicks he does. And then Phoenix says basically move out the way and double stomps his ass. That was pretty cool. Lethal then went for a figure four on Phoenix, who rolls him up to get the win. So we know next week... Apologies, I can feel the stuff at the back of my throat. It's phlegmy as fuck. If I was professional, I would edit that out. But I'm not, and the amount of times the cough, I can't do that. So, Phoenix, Ospreay next week, that's going to be great. And Lethal looked good here. He got a lot of offense in, and obviously he was doing stuff with Jeff Jarrett, with Sanjay Dutt. And since then, he's just done nothing. I'm glad he's not... I mean, for all I know, he could be on Ring of Honor every week. But I wouldn't watch that show because it's the drizzling shits. So I haven't seen him in a while, and I'm glad he's getting a bit of TV time. This was a very enjoyable AEW style match. If you kind of enjoy the spots, this is definitely one for you. And then Trent Beretta comes out with Don Callis. He's with a chair. Then Orange Cassidy gets a chain. Chris Statlander then comes out to make the save to stop Orange Cassidy. She then punches Cassidy. Then Willow Nightingale's music hits. She comes out. She makes the save for Cassidy. So this was decent. So in one segment, you built up Willow Nightingale against Chris Statlander. You built up the diabolical Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta feud. And you made a match next week for Phoenix and Will Ospreay and had a good match. That was some good Dynamite action. That I like. Thumbs up. Win. That gets a win. That was really good. I truly do want to stress how little I care about Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta's story at the moment. One of my least favourite things about the company, and I just don't care. And what's happened to it is it's made me care that little that I'm becoming uninterested in Orange Cassidy. Because it's like he's involved in this feud I really don't care about, so I'd rather him just not be on the screen, and then I have no issues with what's on the screen, because I know Trent's not going to come out. And I watched Trent for years in New Japan and years in WWE and on Superstars. I used to be on the UK TV when I was younger on one of the free channels at like Sunday lunchtime. So I used to sit down and watch that, and they'd do highlights of Raw and SmackDown on there as well. But man, I truly don't care, and I'd go as far as say it's wank. It truly is. When they had the match on the pay-per-view felt like it was 18 hours long. I finished work, and I came back, and my friend... Actually, no, I tell a fib. I tell a porky pie. It was bank holiday, so there was no work. I remember it was like 4 o'clock, a friend came round, and it's... Here in the UK, there's not, in a friendship group, you might have one friend that likes wrestling. So I'm quite lucky. I've been friends with him for over a decade, and we watch wrestling together. All the pay-per-views, well, the AEW ones, the WWE ones sometimes depends on schedules. The AEW ones we always try and watch together. So we came over, got it on the fight, on the Fight app on the TV, because that's how you can order it in the UK. And when that match came on, neither of us were. It was basically, we can catch up now. How have you been? It's just shit. Fuck that. What a load of shit. You might enjoy this Orange Cassidy Trent Beretta feud, and if you do, more power to you. But as I said, I'm going to come on and give my honest opinion, and I thought that anything involving the two of them together sucks. Speaking of sucking, we had Mark Briscoe against Brian Cage. Now, hear me out. The match itself was good, right? The final few minutes were super fun. But the Ring of Honor World Champion in this match fighting for the TNT title, because it's them saying that the TNT title, a mid-card belt, is more important than the Ring of Honor World Championship. That's what they're saying. That's how low in the totem pole Ring of Honor is. Right? Let that sink in. The Ring of Honor World Champion was challenging for a mid-card belt. Is what it is. It's just ridiculous. I like Mark Briscoe. I've really enjoyed him. Watched him for over a decade and a half, and I really enjoy his work. And Brian Cage, similarly, really enjoy his work. The first few minutes of this match, I truly didn't care, because I just didn't care for the match. It was kind of cold. It was just Daniels came out and he said there's going to be a qualifying match now, and it's just like, oh, okay, sweet. But the final 5 minutes of this was super fun. Briscoe used a chair to spring on over the top to a tope con hilo, which is cool. And then Briscoe got the win with the Foggy Bone. The first 5 to 8 minutes, like I said, I just didn't care, and then the last few minutes were super fun. So good on them to be able to kind of get to turn that around. A very cold match, no story, no build, just this is happening. But they turned it around and got me, so good on them. But the fact the Ring of Honor World Champion is challenging for mid-card AEW belts just proves how little Ring of Honor matters. When is their next pay-per-view? Who cares? that's the thing. If before Mark Briscoe came out, I probably would have struggled. If you told me now who was the Ring of Honor TV champion, I couldn't tell you. I'm being serious. I couldn't tell you. You know, it's just like what they need to do. And I've said this for so long, ever since they purchased the fucking thing. Put it in a video library, make some money off it, for fuck's sake. Right, put it on a network, make some money off it from all the classical archives. And fuck me, make it its own touring brand. Don't do stuff at fucking Universal Studios. That was just as wank. Make it, you don't have to be live, right? You can tape a few weeks at a time, especially considering the show, the last time I watched it was 2 hours long. You could do a taping, say there's 4 weeks in a month. God, I'm a mathematical genius. Tape twice a month. Do smaller buildings. Make it so that it feels like it's its own promotion. And then when a Ring of Honor guy appears on AEW, it's like, oh, God, I haven't seen him in a while. But you see Mark Briscoe a lot. If you want Mark Briscoe because he's a star and you want to build him, why is he wasting his time in Ring of Honor then? It drives me mad. It really does. So we got Takeshita and Mark Briscoe in this TNT ladder match at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which I'm all for. I'm quite looking forward to it, to be honest. They're all crazy bastards, and I'm sure there's going to be some ridiculous spots in there. But, man, Ring of Honor, it just sucks. Like, I think it's on tonight, isn't it? It's just shit. What we're going to do at the end of this show, and I'm going to make sure I put this on my notes, because I took notes on my computer when I was doing it, is to look up the card and do it live on air. That's what we're going to do. RH card. And we're going to hopefully find tonight's Ring of Honor card, and we can all have a giggle together. We went backstage, and Jack Perry cuts a good heel promo saying, he'll not stop until he'll win the TNT Championship. Nothing Tony Khan could do about it. Sweet. Simple. To the point. Dug it. Speaking of Doug, we had a backstage promo with Samoa Joe and Hook. So Samoa Joe is basically saying, I'm not your mentor here, blah, 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 blah. In friendly terms, so assuming the way they spoke, Samoa Joe is now a babyface. Then Tony Nese and Arya Daivari, they turn up. Nese tells Hook, when are you going to stop eating those cheesy crisps? And then Hook goes, I can't believe after all these years you still always lose matches. And they walk off. And it was Hook's delivery of this line was fucking on point. Go on Twitter or YouTube, find this promo, because his delivery was fucking hilarious. Like, I genuinely laughed. It was really funny. He's kind of cool. He's kind of indie. When I mean indie, I mean kind of style, not independent wrestling. I mean indie. And I think he clicks with majority of people that are watching. So that was pretty cool. That's one of your mates would say. I really dug it. I really do. I really enjoy Hook, especially kind of him doing these backstage segments. I think they're really good. And then the learning tree, they're walking backstage, and basically the whole night, I won't go through all of them because I'll have to stop every few minutes, but Chris Jericho is walking with Big Bill, and they're walking around, and they go up to people and basically say stuff like, the catering guy is like, look, I know how to do chicken and rice. I've been eating chicken and rice for 3 decades. That's how I've won so many world championships. Look, this is how you do it. And he's showing him, and then he's like, thanks, guys. He does later on to the Acclaimed. He's like, guys, you need to get, not the Acclaimed, the private party. He's like, guys, you should be the open party. Then everyone will turn up to your parties, and you'll get TV time. How about you get TV time with me next week? Thanks, guys. Like, it's just really funny. He's being mental. He really, really is. He's being absolutely mental. It's hilarious. I really enjoy this character, and Jericho, just complete credit deserves, because he's reinventing himself time and time again in different ways, and this one is just on point. It's funny, and it's keeping him on the show, getting some TV time, making you laugh a little bit. You know, when there's so much serious wrestling going on, it's nice to kind of have that character that you can have a little laugh at, like R-Truth on Monday Night Raw. The Acclaim, they come out and they start rapping about the Young Bucks until the Young Bucks appear on the Titantron and say, "This is cut. Leave the ringside area. This isn't happening. Next segment, please." And again, it's getting heel heat on the Young Bucks. It's making you feel sympathy for the Acclaimed. Presumably, that's the match we're going to get at Forbidden Door. And then we had Jon Moxley, the IWGP World Champion, Wheeler Yuta. He had some Ring of Honor belt. Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson against Volador Jr., Magnus Rufido, and Esfingi. In an 8-man tag, which... I watched the 6-man tag that had Claudio, Bryan, and Danielson against Volador. It was Blue Demon and someone else. I can't remember. It was a while back. I didn't cover it. But I watched that match from Arena Mexico. I found a nice naughty stream for it. And it was like, oh, that's cool. Because obviously, I mean, for me, I don't watch a lot of Lucha Libre, which is a shame because it is generally one of my favourite styles of wrestling. I loved Lucha Underground. It's in Mexico. It's in obviously Mexican, which is a language I don't understand, or Spanish. Sorry. And it's different. And I know you could say, "Oh, Japanese wrestling," but Japanese wrestling's. I've been watching it for so long. I know them. Obviously, not know them, but I know their names. I know their characters, and I know the story. Can I be fucked to sit there and get into another promotion? I unfortunately cannot. Sorry, my nose is bubbling. So this match, I think a lot of people wouldn't have cared for. I mean, we're in Forbidden Door season, so it's kind of building up to it. So I'm all game for this. There was a massive brawl all around the ring at the start, and I enjoy the Lucha Libre rules. You know, no tagging, just one in, one out. It flows really well. Esfingi gets the hot tag, he clears house. Volador hits this really nice tilt-the-world Canadian Destroyer. Yuta then got the win with a swinging Olympic Slam and a cradle to get the win. Good to see Wheeler Yuta back. I haven't seen him for 6 months due to injury, so it's good to see him back in the ring, and hopefully he drops that whatever Ring of Honor belt he's got, and he can do some good stuff in AEW. Maybe he can be involved in the TNT ladder match. Maybe not, he's just come back from injury, don't chuck him in a ladder match, but you know, him and Claudio going after the tag belts. You know, you've got Moxley, the IWGP World Champ. For how long? He will be facing Evil and defending the belt at Dominion, which is coming up this Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see if he retains his belt or not. I'm sure Dion's going to give some great coverage of that. And then we went to more Learning Tree. We've seen that. And then we had the Acclaimed telling the Young Bucks, sometime you're going to have to face us face to face. Again, just simple stuff. Just boom. Not bad at all. Christian Cage then talks to the Young Bucks himself. He says he got screwed out of the World Championship and wants another title shot. The Young Bucks says they can't guarantee anything, but they'll try their best. Boom. Continuing the Christian story, reminding everyone he's on TV. Win. I really enjoyed the Christian and Swerve match. Christian is doing some of the best stuff in his career. I really enjoyed his video with Chris Van Vliet. I thought it was a really good interview. He interviewed so well. Chris Van Vliet, really talented guy. Really did enjoy that. And then we had Maria May versus Saraya. I'm assuming so I wrote in my notes here, is Saraya face or heel? And then I wrote, who knows, who cares? A year ago, or was it? It was 2 years ago. You know, when Saraya made her debut, it was all massive. She then won the belt at All In in Wembley. I was there. It was cool. And then what? What's she doing? Waste of money, that is. This match is pretty good, though. I really liked May hit a really nice spinning sidewalk slam. Tony Storm on commentary was really, really entertaining. She's like, her whole family are wrestlers? How disturbing. Go on, smash her tits in. She was really funny. Saraya hit this really, truly nasty cradle DDT. It was brutal, which got 2. And then Saraya with an arm trap sharpshooter got the win. And then Harley Cameron came down to help Saraya attack Storm and May until Mina Shirakawa came out. She's from Stardom, and she took out Saraya. And she'll be wrestling Toni Storm at Forbidden Door. Cool. That should be a really good match. I haven't watched much of Mina Shirakawa, so getting to see more of her on a pay-per-view in AEW. Hopefully a lot of time's given to it. Hopefully a lot of build. Winner chicken dinner. Then we had a Bryan interview. He cuts promo saying what a blessing it is to see guys like Wheeler Yuta come back after being away for so long, and then said that he's only got, 8 months ago, he said that this will be his last year, and said he's not happy with results. He's laid out all of his losses that he's had, against Okada, Ospreay, etc., and then said that he is now motivated to win the Owen Hart Cup, get a World Championship match All In, and end his career as champion. Perfect. Building intrigue to that Owen Hart Cup. Perfect. Really like that. Adding the stipulation to the winner gets a World Championship match at All In was the best decision AEW made this year, besides re-signing MJF. Generally. Simply because it mattered, because it's Owen Hart's legacy, and it would obviously mean a lot to the wrestlers. But besides winning it, what do you actually get? That's something that the King of the Ring this year done well, and the Queen of the Ring. The winners got something. They got a championship match at SummerSlam. Perfect. Now you go from, oh, I care, to, I really care. And it's just one detail. Same with this. This now goes from, oh yeah, it's Owen Hart Cup, cool, to, oh, come on, this is going to be great. That's a way to honour Owen Hart Cup. It's a way to honour Owen Hart. And good promo as always. Then we had the AEW World Championship match. We had Shane Strickland defending his championship against Roderick Strong. Now, I don't know why Roderick Strong's got this match. He lost the International Championship to Ospreay 2 weeks ago. So going from losing a opening match on a pay-per-view to getting a World Championship match 2 weeks later is very confusing. I don't know if they still do those rankings. They stop and start. Just fucking make do with the rankings, lad. Make do with the rankings. Nobody follows them. Nobody cares. You don't care. We don't care. Well, I don't care. Move on. Fucking dump that from your website. For Christ's sake. And I don't want to take this as a knock, because I love Roderick Strong. I really enjoyed his Ring of Honor World Title run back in 2010. I remember one of my favourites was when he dropped the belt to Davey Richards at Final Battle 2010. That was such a good show. And then Generico and Kevin Steen in the main event. Oh, that's some prime teenage memories for me there. But yeah, regardless, this match was really fucking good. Really good back and forth. Strong hit this gut buster, and then mid-air swerve countered it into a double stomp, which was really nice. Strong hit this suplex backbreaker on the apron, which is nasty. And there was a near fall where Strong hit the sit kick. I was like, I generally sat forward and was like, oh my god. And then he didn't. And then Swerve hit the Swerve stomp over the top rope onto Strong, who was draping on the apron. And then the house call got the win. Really, really good match. Really enjoyed it. Great way to win the show. Would I prefer this to be a world title eliminator? Yes. Because that would have just been, you would have got the same result. Alright? There was just no need to put Swerve defending his title as much as he is. And I know with MJF we didn't get many title matches, so maybe they're making up for it in that sense. But you don't need to make every match a world title match, because it's just silly. Make it a world title eliminator, at least. But yeah, this was a really good match, and a good way to end the show. Excuse me, sorry, I'm so... my nose is so flogged, and the back of my throat is beyond painful. So I apologise, that just shows the dedication. He says after not doing the show for a while. So let's have a look at the Ring of Honor card, shall we? See if we can find it. So match card, June 6th, 2024. Let's have a little giggle, shall we? Results, TV lineup. Right, here we go. This is what's happening tonight on Ring of Honor. The following matches are advertised for tonight's Ring of Honor Club. That shit's still going on. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. I'm seeing that with my own two eyes. So we have Carl Fletcher versus Dalton Castle for the ROH TV title. Carl Fletcher's the TV champion. ROH Women's TV champion Billy Starks against Zamaya in a proving ground match. John Silver, these guys are still employed. John Silver, Alex Reynolds, and Evil Uno against Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, and Johnny TV versus Bronson Boulder and Jack Jameson in a 9-man tag match. Fucking hell. Carly Bravo and Sean Dean against Nick Comoroto and Jacob Watts. Queen Amanita in action. Marina Shafir in action. Wow. That is must-watch television, chaps. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm doing an all-nighter. I've decided I'm going to watch Ring of Honor live. Oh, you can't. You got to watch it on that fucking app. I'm not paying for that. Do you get pay-per-views with it? I remember back in the day, you still had to get the pay-per-view separately or pay some ridiculous yearly subscription. But with that in mind, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you thought about this show. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.